Imagine this. You sit down for an exam, flip open the first page, and every single answer comes to you effortlessly. No panic, no second guessing, just pure confidence. You finish early, double-check your answers, and walk out knowing you absolutely crushed it. Now, think about the opposite. You sit down, see the first question, and your mind goes blank. Your palms get sweaty, your heart races, and suddenly, everything you thought you knew disappears. You start guessing, rushing through answers, hoping for the best. What's the difference between these two students? Intelligence? Luck? Natural talent? Number. The real difference is how they prepared. Because let me tell you a secret. Academic success has nothing to do with being naturally smart. It's not about studying harder. It's about studying smarter. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you in this video. I used to be the kind of student who crammed the night before, highlighted everything in my textbook, and convinced myself that I had studied. But when the test came, my grades didn't reflect my effort. I felt frustrated, stuck, and started to believe that maybe I just wasn't good enough. But then I discovered a completely different way of studying, one that made my brain absorb information faster, deeper, and more effectively. And once I applied these techniques, my results skyrocketed. 4.6 GPA, 1,580 SAT score, top 1% in the U.S. National Chemistry Olympiad finalist in multiple academic competitions. The best part? Anyone can do this. If you've ever felt like you're studying for hours but not remembering anything, you get anxious before exams and forget everything, you just don't have enough time to study properly, then this video will change everything for you. I'm about to break down the exact techniques, test-taking strategies, and mindset shifts that will turn you into a true academic weapon. Someone who doesn't just get by in school, but dominates every subject, every test, every challenge. And if you want to go even deeper, I've created the ultimate guide to becoming an academic weapon. A 55-plus page detailed study guide with all my best strategies, free for you to check out, link in the description. But first, let's uncover the real reasons why most students struggle and how you can fix them starting today. The 3 biggest problems holding you back. 1. You're wasting time without realizing it. Most students think they're studying, but in reality, they're just pretending to be productive. Maybe you're rereading notes, watching a video while scrolling your phone, or sitting at your desk thinking about studying, but not actually doing it. Here's a mindset shift. Put a price tag on your time. Imagine every hour of wasted time costs you $1,000 or even $10,000. If you just wasted an hour scrolling TikTok, you threw away $10K. Your time is your most valuable resource. Start treating it that way. 2. You think you don't have enough time. The most common excuse I hear is, I just don't have time to study. But if you track your time, you'll realize you do have time. You're just spending it on the wrong things. Spent 2 hours on Netflix? That could have been 2 hours of effective studying. Scrolled Instagram for 45 minutes? That's time wasted. The solution? Wake up 30 minutes earlier, cut out distractions, and make studying a priority. 3. You're lying to yourself about how much you know. Many students think they understand a subject just because they read over their notes. But when the test comes, they get stuck. Here's why. Passive studying doesn't work. Your brain isn't really absorbing the material. You're just recognizing it, not recalling it. If you want to actually remember what you study, you need active recall. The number 1 study technique, active recall. Most students study passively. They highlight, reread, or take notes. But research shows this is one of the least effective ways to learn. Active recall is the most powerful way to study. Instead of just reading, it forces your brain to actively retrieve information, making it stick. How to use active recall in your studies. Create a study guide by hand. Instead of rewriting everything, summarize only the key points in your own words. This forces you to think and identify the most important information. Use flashcards, but the right way. Most students just flip through flashcards passively. Instead, try this. Read the question, say the answer out loud without looking, then check yourself. If you get it wrong, write down what you missed and try again. Teach the material to someone else. If you can explain a topic to a friend or even an imaginary audience, you truly understand it. Never skip this. Ask questions and fill in gaps. One of the biggest mistakes students make is skipping over things they don't fully understand. You might think, "I'll figure it out later," but that never happens. The truth is, everything builds on itself. If you don't fully understand a topic now, you'll struggle even more later. So, always ask questions. If you're confused in class, ask your teacher right away. If you don't want to ask in class, stay after or email them. If your teacher isn't helpful, Google it or watch a YouTube explanation. Never move on if you don't fully understand something. The best way to prepare for tests: practice exams. If you're studying for a big exam like the SAT, AP exams, or a final, the best way to prepare is by taking practice tests. Why? Because practice tests help you manage your time better, so you don't run out of time on test day. Get used to the types of questions, so nothing surprises you. Reduce anxiety, because you've already seen similar questions before. How to use practice tests effectively. 1. Take a full-length test under real conditions. No breaks, no distractions, and a timer set to match the real test. 2. Analyze your mistakes. Don't just move on. Figure out why you got something wrong. 3. Redo the hard questions. Write them down, solve them again, and learn from your errors. If you're preparing for standardized tests like the SAT, use Khan Academy for free SAT practice. If you're studying for AP exams, use past FRQs from College Board. Test-taking tricks from a 1580 SAT scorer. I didn't just study hard, I studied smart, and I've mastered the psychology of test-taking. Here are 3 of my biggest test-taking hacks. 1. Know what will and won't be on the test. Your teacher always gives hints about what's important. Pay attention to topics they repeat often, bolded or highlighted sections in textbooks, study guides they provide. Don't waste time studying things that won't even be tested. 2. Simulate the real test environment. If your test is timed, always practice with a timer. If it's long, build the stamina to sit through it without getting tired. 3. Master the test format. Every test follows a pattern. The more practice questions you do, the more you'll recognize these patterns and predict answers faster. Final thoughts. Stop making excuses. Start winning. At the end of the day, success isn't about luck or natural talent. It's about strategy, discipline, and consistency. The students who score at the top aren't necessarily the smartest. They're the ones who study smarter, not harder. Now, it's your turn. Start using active recall today. Take your studying seriously. Be honest about your weaknesses and fix them. It's packed with step-by-step techniques to make studying easier, faster, and more effective. Now go out there and start dominating your academics.